It is now 12:06, and I did some procrastination. But on the other hand, okay, so immediately after recording the first video, I just decided to not do the readings for 1.2 yet because I don't really need to, because it's not useful for any assignments that I do today. So instead, I wrote my introduction discussion thingy, which is worth 3 extra credit points. So, okay, for that, I hope I get all 3 points there. And it's only been 58 minutes of doing homework. And then after I wrote that, I kind of procrastinated while watching YouTube for a while, but now I'm actually not going to procrastinate, and actually all I have left is one little thing. One little tiny thing that sucks. The discussion post, which really sucks, because it's asking me to write about stuff I know nothing about. And it specifically tells you can't use your textbook to answer the question, which is nice. It may seem nice because, oh, well, you can just use whatever you already know, but I don't know anything. Like, what? Why would it say stuff that's different from your textbook? Like, how am I supposed to answer the question? Okay, so let's look at it. So if you look at the assignment, I have to respond to 2 people as well, I think. Oh, man. So you have to... 5 points is writing your post. 5 points is review... Oh, thank God, it's only one person. I think you only have to respond to one. Oh, man, thank God, it's only one. I thought you had to respond to 2. Okay. It says, without referring to what you have read in your textbook. Okay. It says, write your own examples for the following 6 dimensions that makes the nature of HR dynamic. Political, economic, social, technology, environmental, and legal. Oh my gosh, how are you supposed to write about stuff you know nothing about? Oh, what? What? Oh, man. Well, I'll just come up with some bullcrap, I guess. I mean, what? Why? Why would you... Okay, why does it say without referring to your textbook? Hello, I know nothing. I know nothing. What? I'm supposed to write about stuff I know nothing about? Like, what? How is that even productive? Ah. I've never actually dealt with, like, a human resource person at where... I've only worked at 2 places before. So the first place I worked was hotel. I don't know if they have a human resource person at the hotel, but I never had to deal with it. Maybe the person who interviewed me was a human resource person. Who knows? Who freaking knows? She was kind of like my supervisor, but I don't know. She wasn't. I don't think they never specifically said HR. And then for the other job, which was the janitor job, I've emailed specific people, but I don't know if they weren't really called HR people. Anyways, and I kind of know a little bit about HR, but not much. Like, it's... How are you supposed to... It's like, how is it dynamic? Well, I think I know what dynamic means. What makes it dynamic, like, constantly changing, I think? That's what it means? I don't know. I'll look up the word dynamic. I think it just means constantly changing. And we did talk about it in the discussion in our class. So that's kind of something. And if I write about stuff and it's complete bullcrap and it's nothing, at least I try. Like, as long as I try, hopefully they'll give me full credit. Because how you... Okay. This is going to be very frustrating. But I'm just going to have to sit there think for like 10 years and then... There's 6 different things, I think. Is it 6? Oh man, 6 dimensions. Political, economic, social, technology, environmental. Oh my goodness. But I think maybe I'll be able to come up with stuff. And then respond to somebody. What am I even supposed to freaking say in response? What am I supposed to... It says just explain your agreement or disagreement. Okay, fine. I don't think he says there's a specific number of words, so that's good. I don't have to have a specific number of words, thank God. So the good thing about this assignment is it's based entirely on... You don't have to read much for it. There's no word limit. You only have to respond to one person. The bad thing is I don't know anything about what I'm talking about, and you have to write about 6 different dimensions. But I think I should be able to do it. I mean, there's no way it's going to take more than an hour, right? There's no way. And once I'm done with that, I don't have to do anything at all day. And all day tomorrow either. Technically, I don't have to do anything tomorrow. Wow. Because, oh man, I need to come up with a better motivation here. Because apparently this is not working very well. I only lasted one day and then stopped. Well, yeah. Next coming week, we have 2 corporate finance homework assignments, and then the exam due on Friday. The exam is due Friday, and then for human resource management, we have a bunch of readings, and then 2 homework assignments, which are a team activity and an individual activity. Kind of weird. I don't know why I made the leadership assignment group activity for this semester. Nice. And there's only like 10 people in our class, and he divided us into groups, and there's like 3 groups of 2 people. I don't know why I didn't just make a fewer number of groups into groups of 3 people, like 4 people or something. But yeah, just made a bunch of groups of 2. But I'm really grateful for my teammate who submitted the leadership assignment already, so he found somebody to interview. They were talking. Wait, I wonder if they're leaving. I know this kind of sounds bad, but I like having the house to myself sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. It's just nice to... I don't know. But they might be going somewhere. But yeah, as long as I finish this assignment right away, I won't have to do anything at all for like the next 2 days, and then I'll have something due Monday, and then I'll have a bunch of stuff due Friday. So, and next week I'm going to deal with the tuition thing. I want to deal with the degree thing too, but I'm probably not going to be motivated to. But if I come up with a new motivation, great. Oh yeah, and last night I stayed up till 1 in the morning playing Civ 5. I was like, I can't stop. I'm just gonna stay up as long as I feel like staying up. And then I don't know if I talked about it already, but I was playing a game where I wanted to conquer the entire world. And on Monday, I don't think I'd even conquered a single city, but it took an entire week of non-stop playing the game. But I've gotten to the point where I've conquered every single city except for like 10. And there's only 1 other civilization left. And I bet today I'll be able to completely finish doing that. And it's gotten to the point, there's kind of a funny loophole in the game where you get kind of penalized normally if you have a deficit, or you're losing gold for every turn. If you're spending more gold every turn than you're making, normally in the game that penalizes you, so you don't make it basically, I don't know if there's multiple different things that happen. The only thing I know that's very significant is that it decreases the amount of science that you're producing every turn. I'm trying to think if there's any other consequences. It will disband your. Basically, if you're running a deficit, it will basically delete one of your military units per turn, which is kind of weird. Like you would think it would be more, but you don't produce any science. I don't know if there's any other consequences of it. But those seem to be the only two consequences of it. And the loophole is that once you fill out the tech tree, there's no real point in having science. And if you produce like 10 or 20 units per turn, then having one deleted per turn is like nothing. So the loophole is, once you fill out the tech tree, just produce like 10 billion units per turn, and you'll be fine. So I'm making a negative 40,000 gold per turn because of the ginormous amount of military units I have. The vast majority of which I'm not even using, but I was kind of hoping. I think it was kind of helpful because if you're at war with a civilization and they notice and your military is like way, way, way bigger than theirs, then they're much more willing to like make a peace treaty where they'll give you tons of cities for free. So that's kind of what I did recently. Like conquered most of the cities of Byzantium, which is the last civilization left. Except I didn't conquer some of the coastal cities. I found it's kind of hard to conquer the coastal cities with land units because you can't completely surround the city, and the other civilization has a ton of naval units that are bombarding the coastal cities, and I don't really have as many naval units to defend it, so I decided to just leave some of the coastal cities, and then the leader is Theodora, and then she offered a peace treaty and she gave me a ton of free cities, but most of the cities were just little island cities, but whatever. So I made peace and got a bunch of free cities, and now I'm just kind of waiting around and producing a bunch of missile cruisers so that in about 10 turns when the peace treaty, what is it called, expires, then I can conquer the rest of the cities and I'll be done, finally. But I won't be done, because once I'm done with that, I'm basically going to delete all of my military units and try to get my gold back up to a positive number. And then just kind of keep clicking next turn over and over again and see what happens. I did that already, kind of, except instead of having 12 civilizations, I only had, I set it so that it's a huge map with only one, and it was Venice. I kind of already described that. And I only settled like 10 cities, and all 10 cities were like super far apart, so that they were all like giant hexagons. But yeah, I did that already with that, and I think I was making like 1,000 gold per turn or something at the end, and I ended up with like 300,000 gold. And a bunch of my cities had like 30, 40, or 50, or even 60 citizens in them. But it gets to a point, you can't do that forever, because eventually you run out of happiness. Like, eventually you run out of ways to get happiness in the game. So if you kept going, it would just go down to negative happiness, and then your cities would starve and stagnate, and that's basically as far as you can go. So that's kind of what I did with the last game I played. But I'm doing the same thing this game, except I have like 10 billion kajillion cities, and I conquered 12 or 11 other civilizations. So we'll see if I can, like, I don't know, there's not really very many ways to measure. Like, you can measure the amount of gold you're making per turn, the amount of science, the amount of culture, the amount of tourism, to like measure like which civilization is more powerful. maybe I could compare the two and see what's better, having like 10 ginormous super cities or like 150 smaller cities on a giant map. Oh wow. I love procrastination. I love to procrastinate on assignments that are terrible. Is this assignment terrible? Well, let's look at this stinking question. Without referring to what you have read under dynamic nature of human resource management. Oh yeah, by the way, reading that took like 2.5 hours because it was so long. Write your own examples for the following 6 dimensions that makes the nature of HR dynamic: political, economic, social, technology, environmental, and legal. 1 per each domain. Post the response, and then select a posting and post a comment explaining your agreement or disagreement with the examples. Thank goodness. The second posting should be pretty easy. The first one's gonna suck. Oh man. Oh no. When is this class gonna start? Financial reporting and analysis. That class is not gonna be asynchronous. Thankfully, I don't know. Is it gonna be 4 days a week? I didn't check. Crap, I should have checked. I don't feel like checking right now. Hopefully it's not. Oh yeah, I already checked to see if it's 3 hours a day. No, I think it's 2 hours. Still not that good, but still. You're listening to the same song. Wait, just a second. Wait, how are you listening to the same song? When I was doing the homework assignment, I thought I was listening to music. Did I accidentally start it over at the beginning? I'm confused. Yeah, once I'm done with this Civ game, I'm gonna probably play like 2 or 3 more games, but I don't think I'm ever gonna do another one where, I don't think I'm ever gonna do another one where I actually conquer like 10 billion civs. I'm probably just gonna continue doing games where it's only me and Venice on a huge map. I wish I could get a bigger map. I don't know if there's a way to. Maybe I could download some kind of mod or expansion thingy that has more maps available that are bigger. I don't know. Maybe I'll try doing a plains map at some point. That would be kind of cool. Mostly these last 2 maps I did were Pangea maps. Maybe I'll also do a world map. And like my next experiment is gonna be. I actually did one Civ game a while ago where I tried to see if I can win a game with just one city. But it's incredibly difficult to do that. I saw somebody. There's a YouTube video of a guy winning the game with one city on King difficulty. It's probably not possible to win on any higher difficulty with one city. And he had this very specific strategy and like stuff that I don't really put that much effort into. But probably I'll do another experiment. Like I have done experiments where I just settle cities instead of doing anything else. I just settle cities. I might try doing that again, but I've already done that before. I don't know. Whoops, I'm getting a call.